Hey folks, Papa Boris here playing some more Altered the Trading Card game. Where are we actually? What did I do? Oh, I just won with Yzmir, so I guess we're gonna back around the horn to Bravos. Howdy ho, neighbor-o. Did I pick it? Oh, my opponent's still deciding what to pick. Okay. Okay, my opponent's up with Lyra here, which is not one of my favorite factions, or starter decks at least, but let's see what they can do with it. Do I want to keep this? I don't think I don't want to keep that, right? I mean, you could play it on turn 1 and do like crazy moves like that, but I don't think I want that. And that's an easy mulligan, the stupid 6-drop. So what am I doing here? Well, probably turn 1 is the warrior and turn 2 is Kappa. So we'll get rid of this because I don't like it, and that'll be it. Main thing, maybe you could have considered keeping the spindle. This might be like something I could actually consider keeping against Yzmir, right? Because they have all those spells. So this would basically mean that their Beauty Sleep and their Off You Go and their Kraken's Wrath and their Dorothy are shut the hell down. Now, this only applies to characters, so it doesn't apply to itself. So the opponent could still use the Banishing Gate on it to discard it. But that costs 4, and a lot of people discard those, I assume, because I do. So, oh god, is it doing the bug? It's doing the bug. Hang on a second. Okay, so we're going to do the obvious here. We're just going to play the Haven Warrior here. You could do something goofy and play this to get it in reserve to like play it for 4 next turn. I think if you have a junk hand, it actually does make sense to play this and then play it for 4 next turn and keep your hand, you're using like 1 card on both turn 1 and turn 2. But I don't have a junk hand, so I'll just keep it simple. Interesting move here. My opponent either has a 1-drop or a bad hand. I have a bad hand. Okay, they also forgot to use this ability. Okay, you could say, well, maybe don't do this because it risks tossing the character away. But if you're going to play Lyra, you need to roll the dice and try to get this to be a 6. Okay, so because it had a 0 stat in the opening territory, my 2/2/2 token was able to move off of Desert. Okay, I don't remember what removal Lyra has or doesn't have, but I know for a fact I do not like this card. It's just way too vulnerable to removal. You spend 5, and then it just goes, and then sometimes your opponent beats you anyway, because you're spending like a lot of your mana just to get essentially 3/3/3 in all the in both lanes. So we're just gonna pitch it for mana. It's an easy pitch. And then this turn, well, we got the rat, so we can do differently. I can play the rat first and then decide what to do. Because I might be able to sneak a win in both lanes. But actually, I think it makes, if my opponent doesn't sabotage, they do have the first player. I don't know if Lyra has sabotage cards, but if they don't, what is this? Draw a card or resupply. Okay, so they got a resupply because they rolled below 4. This is really interesting. Okay, well, that is easy for me then. So, regardless of what I do, my opponent's moving with this Ouroboros Croupier, but it also means that regardless... Oh, hold on a minute. No, that's wrong. Oh, God. I was going to say regardless of what I do, I move in both lanes, but they can still roll on this to give it a 1 forest. So to make sure I move on my forest, I got to play this thing here. Because of the desert, it doesn't stop it from moving, but then I can play my rat here, and also this keeps it... Okay, my opponent's not rolling. I think you need to roll with Lyra. I don't know if, like, it's worth the 50-50 chance of this going away in exchange for the 50-50 chance of it getting an anchored, assuming you don't roll a boost. Each of those is equally likely. But I think you gotta do it. I mean, if you're not doing it, why are you playing with that deck? Okay, so I like the situation here. They got a resupply off of this, but then they're throwing something away. So it's giving them card choice, but not card advantage. I'm still keeping up on cards. Well, they are ahead of card, basically because they've played fewer cards. It's like another one of the weird ways that this game twists your understanding of card advantage. Playing more cards in this game fundamentally lowers your card, because any creature that you play goes into reserve, and you play it out of reserve, and then it dies. So if you're playing fewer cards generally, you're getting a higher card advantage, whereas in other games, creatures stay on the board, and your opponent has to kill them for them to count against you. Okay, easy move here. I'm going to get rid of Atlas. Again, I mean, I could have played him this turn, right? Again, I could have had 3/3/3 in one and 5/5/5 in the other. I just don't see the point of risking falling behind. I mean, you could argue, wait, what are the cards that get rid of a 5? Yeah, maybe I should have actually kept Atlas there. Like, any card that gets rid of a creature with a reserve cost of 5 or higher is gonna cost like 4, right? So, yeah, I probably should have actually just kept and played the Atlas. As it is, if I play Kappa, I don't get to play Rat because the Rat costs 3 here. So I can play the Rat and Mr. Forest. And Mr. Forest is pretty good here. Yeah, all right, we'll do it. Let's just keep it simple. That's the nice thing about Bravos. You just get to play easy. One moment, please. Just letting my wife know I will pick her up from work today. And adding a heart to my text because I love her. Okay. My opponent played Hathor. This is not stopping me from moving because it doesn't have any water and water is relevant. The question is, do I even want to play Mr. Forest here? I mean, my opponent has 3 mana. They got this thing, which is very strong, actually. It can become a 3/3 basically for 1 because they play it for 1, then they roll this, and then they get a boost. They get a boost for the boost, most likely, and then a boost for the roll. It's a 3/3. Yeah, I'm going to play this. It's not filling up my reserve. Let's try to cement this lane. Now, of course, my opponent is going to maybe play the mage thing here and boost it, and then we get tie. But I'm okay with that because over here, if they'd beaten me, then they would move and I would not. Whereas here, they can just make us both tie. And of course, they have a card in hand, so they have 2 extra energy to work with. So yeah, I think I like this plan. Let's say my opponent stops me somehow. They're playing another one of these. But why would you do that? Oh dear. That's still not stopping me from moving here. Okay, well anyway, they're gonna play this here. I think they should. They're playing this here. And then they're gonna target it with their hero power. They're passing. Oh god, okay, we are up against someone who doesn't know what they're doing. Well, sometimes, you know, it's fun to play a game against someone who doesn't know what they're doing so that, you know, you can see how this is a game of skill and they're filling up their reserve and they're not playing anything in the correct spots. Hey man, I played like that when I first started. No shame, Mar Y39. It's okay. But it's you know, it does show how skillful this game is. Like, I just don't think that they realized that they could play this here, target it with their hero power, and probably get a 3/3 for 1 energy. They're keeping it, so I don't know why they're keeping it if they don't realize how good it is, but hey, why is anything happening in this game, huh? All right, so what are we doing with 6 mana? I want to play this, obviously, because that's just crippling. Getting rid of this Mage Dancer and leaving them with a 0 forest card is very tempting. But then I have 3 mana left over, which is incredibly awkward because all I can do then is play this guy. Which, I mean, I could just try to win with it, right? Okay. The other option is I could keep Dorothy, but with 6, she's all I'm playing. Okay, we'll get rid of Kappa. If I'm spending 4 mana, I might as well play Mr. Forest. It's 5 forest for 4 energy, whereas Kappa is only 4 forest for 4 energy. And then if my opponent doesn't play out this Mage Dancer, I could sabotage it on my first turn. So my plan is Haven Bouncer here. What are you? If you'd roll 1 or more dice, instead roll that many dice plus 1 and ignore the result of your choice. Oh, that's very cool. So yeah, that's definitely very strong. We're gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And so now my opponent can't play this because they don't have enough mana, so they only have 1 card left in hand, and they're about to get #boom roasted because even if they stop me here, they're done. Okay, well, I'm gonna do a little bit of bad manners. Sorry. It didn't take too much of your time. Good game. Okay, well, when you're one of the top decks in the game and your opponent has no idea how to play, that's what happens. A nice 10-minute win. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like and or subscribe. I'll see you again soon. Take care.